Of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. We bring to you today an afternoon edition. Today is Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Interesting down day from the markets, although in the last hour we have seen a little bit of a resurgence. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about what were the narratives of 2023. What narratives shaped the cryptocurrency trading and investment landscape in 2023? And if those of you who don't know what a narrative is just a general idea or concept that any token or asset that kind of falls under that idea or thesis, their product is fulfilling this need, their marketing is addressing this concern. These tokens all tend to do very well. So a very common strategy for the cryptocurrency trader or investor will be identifying what the current narrative is, or even a little bit more nuanced, identifying what the next up and coming narratives are that haven't yet seen price performance. These are all strategies to overperform the market in their own trading. So today we're going to be going over the best narratives and trends from 2023. And this exercise is determined to show us what was hot in 2023, what things performed very well under what narratives, and what concepts from that can we take forward into our trading and investing now in 2024. We'll also be sharing the narratives that I think we'll be sharing 2024. And this all comes from Sentiment Social Volume Data. So this will be very interesting. We'll, of course, be doing our market breakdown and talking about all the latest in crypto. Thank you so much for your guys' support. If you want to support the stream and what we do, make sure to like and subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's get right on with today's presentation. All right. Full screen here. And let me just quickly switch over to OBS. Okay. Life's looking good. Shout outs to everybody in the chat. Crypto Rick, good to see you, my friend. Where have I been? Well, I've discussed that ad nauseum in previous, but essentially, I just haven't been as consistent with the streams as I'd like to, but that is changing. 2024 is the year of cracking crypto, my friend. Let's do this. All right. You're in a minute market summary. Bitcoin's price performance. I did this morning, so prices are a tiny bit lower than this, but Bitcoin's price performance today, approximately $40,687. We're down about 2%. It's a little bit more now. We're now closer down about 3%. So down day, red day for the markets, kind of in contrarian to what I was expecting. But our analysts in the Discord did catch this very well today. All right. Ethereum as well, down day for Ethereum, approximately 2,375, down about 3%. Cryptocurrency total market capitalization, we're sitting at about 1.549 trillion with a T, down about 2.5% on the day. Altcoin market capitalization, under $500 billion, $467.87 billion, down 2.5% on the day as well. Here are your top trending coins for today, courtesy of CoinGecko. Phased Games leads next to Solidus AI Tech, which was also a trending coin as we left the markets last Friday. Pond Coin, something new today. Dynex, something new today. Magic Square and Manta Network still on the Trending Coins Network. And Manta up quite nicely, up from 216 when we were looking at it on Friday to 245 in anticipation of the airdrop this week. Pyth Network back in the trending assets at about a little under 40 cents, and a new token, well, new to me anyways, Tectum. Top gainers on the day, Nada Protocol token up 89%, followed by Pondcoin, Feg BSC, Magpie, Asmatch, Blocks. There's a great interview with us and a team member of Blocks. We interviewed him during San Francisco Blockchain Week. It's on the channel in the cryptocurrency playlist if you guys want to go check that out. Feg on Ethereum and Eternity Chain. Congratulations to those token holders. Top losers on the day, Clash of Lilliput, Hourglass, Shido, the Doge NFT, Cock Inu, Block V, Block Via. This is a token that Alex and I are very interested in. 0x0 AI and MDEX. So my condolences to those holding those tokens. And freshly minted, I mean, you can smell the new coin smell on them. New coins today. Balance AI, Catman, Ferrari, not Ferrari, Ferrari. Interns, DragonX.win, Andrea Von Speed, Church of the Machina, and Soho Tron. All right, so interesting narratives there. DeFi flows for the day. Again, chains are pretty red today. We can see one-day changes on the order of about 1 to 3% negative flowing out of all the major chains, with the exception of course, continuing on from last week, Manta Network continuing to pick up TVL, and Pulse Chain continuing to pick up TVL and doing very, very well. Pulse Chain doing well and very nice after such a long Pulse chain, winter, my dear Lord. Overall chains are red on the week as well. Just about everything coming out. Arbitrum picking up a little bit now, break even plus 1% on the week. Manta up 8% and Pulse chain a whopping up 61% TVL on the weekly. So incredible flows into Manta and Pulse chain. All right, market reports so far. Shout outs Bob the Builder. We've got Astro 369, Mr. Ether in the chat. Good to see you guys. Today's market report. All right, as we anticipated and talked about, Q1 so far has been challenging to trade. All right, a lot of whipsaw. It's just been hard to position, and I told you guys this, right? I talked about this. I'm struggling myself with my day trades on my copy trade futures account, not having the best month so far in January. Had very good months before, overall profitable, but it's been a challenging first few weeks of January to trade. Volumes have dropped to their lowest level since October. That makes trading difficult. And I'm just being very honest with you guys. When the market is trending down, it's significantly more difficult to profitably trade. It just is. Not that it's impossible. Obviously, there are strategies designed. You can build a strategy around it. But I've been trading for a long time. I've mentored thousands of students from all over the world. And everybody struggles when the market starts trending down. Everybody starts to struggle. It doesn't matter how good your strategy is, how well you've backtested it. It's just a different type of market. The movements happen very fast instead of slowly. You have to be positioned quite right, and your execution has to be pinpoint. That's why, honestly, as I continue to mature as a trader, and as the options market matures in cryptocurrency, I really prefer using options. Just, whenever I think the market's going to go down, just buy at the money puts, right? Or, if you want to, go out, buy, get your strike, whatever you think price is going to go. But options are just much more easier to profit actually on the way down than futures, in my humble opinion. Bitcoin dominance is holding steady at slightly below 50%. This is good. Of course, you do know that I do believe the next narrative on the horizon is going to be Ethereum, and Ethereum orthogonal trades parallel trades outperforming Bitcoin. But we do need dominance to drop further down if we're really going to see this outperformance of our high beta plays, of our altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin dominance to drop down closer to 40%. The fear and greed indicator, just pointing this out here, the fear and greed indicator, of course, is sitting closer to 56, getting closer to neutral as we continue to trend down. I'm putting this out here now. The fear and greed indicator for Bitcoin and Ethereum, when that metric falls below 20%, when we're getting close to extreme fear, that is one of the best contrarian buy signals for you to position yourself spot or with low leverage positions. All right, so watch out for that. We're nowhere near that, but perhaps we'll get something like that coming into March. Funding rates for Bitcoin and Ethereum are back in the single digits. And looking at open interest flows, we can see that overall traders are continuing to and have predominantly throughout January unwound their long positions. All right. Now, as we are trending down, as we've had a catalyst Pico top, this is the time in my personal trading cycle when I begin identifying high beta plays, looking for these coins to outperform the majors as we move forward. This is when I like to focus in on those higher beta plays. And we have all those things happening. Ethereum gas fees have come way down, so the network is not very congested. Transactions are relatively cheap. Bitcoin transactions, UTXO or not UTXO set, but mempool remains relatively busy. And I don't want to say congested, but the Bitcoin network is much more busy than it normally is. But fees have come way down since the ordinal spike of late 2023. Now, as I've said, you guys know my positioning. 2024, I do believe to be a fantastic year overall for cryptocurrency. The bull market will return, but we do have to go through this consolidation phase again, potentially leading into March. All right. Potentially leading into March when we start getting those rate cuts. And then the halving is going to be right around the corner, and that's going to be the best time position. We do have, of course, I am going to be playing the Super Bowl narrative. Last year, about 3 or 4 days after the Super Bowl, Bitcoin put in this massive God candle. So I'm going to be buying at the money calls on or around February 8th, depending on, where the market is, what the TA says as we get closer to that level. That's going to be my next kind of big trade, trying to play that catalyst. But, other than that, I'm just going to continue to hold my spot positions, build my portfolio with the coins that I think my high beta plays as we continue to trend down moving into March. And I'm really going to be focusing on Ethereum the next leg up. I've converted a lot of my Bitcoin into Ethereum because the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio has fallen to significant levels, as you guys know. So I think that is going to, that's the play that I'm making. I'm focusing on Ethereum moving forward. I'm going to hold Ethereum as my mainstay, as my barbell strategy, and then I will be allocating to my higher beta plays, continuing to add to them as we trend down into March. All right. So as I said, this is going to be the focus piece for today, the 2023 narratives that went and the 2024 narratives that come. This was inspired and largely taken from Santiment's newest report, pretty much with the same name. So again, I'm not the genius behind the curtains. I just put this stuff together from people that are generally smarter than me. So investing or trading into the right narrative at the right time can yield very high returns. And I'd like to look at the most popular narratives of 2023, how they shape the cryptocurrency landscape, and what upcoming narratives are on the horizon for 2024. All right, first off, this is going to be a recurring theme. As we kicked off 2023, stable coins were a major narrative. So I'm going to be using Santiment charts. Again, I largely took most of this data from Santiment's latest report. And what we're going to be seeing here, just as a quick primer, on most of these charts, they're going to have this green, the green line here is going to be the price performance of BTC USD for reference. And then the red line is going to be the social dominance indicator for whatever topic that we happen to be talking about. All of these tools are available on Santiment. If you guys are interested in utilizing Santiment, this is one of the institutional grade tools that I use on a daily basis to guide my trading and investing. You guys can sign up for Santiment. I believe you get a bit of a discount if you use our referral link. It's santiment.krakencryptocurrency.com, San with an A, S-A-N, santiment.krakencryptocurrency.com. All right, so as we kicked off 2023, not necessarily in January, but the big narrative for the first quarter of 2023 was this rising awareness of bank failures and kind of this knockdown effect. Silicon Valley Bank obviously collapsed in March, and around that time, USDC and DAI both lost their peg. So stablecoins and their pegging became a very dominant narrative in March of 2023, which turned that period of time into the most pessimistic time of the year. Ironically, this was the absolute best time of 2023 during this big dip of the SVB collapse to invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So again, a recurring theme of this, when we talk about sentiment, when we talk about social data, it's often going to be the fact that we use it contrarily to guide our investment decisions. For example, when we see that there is a massive surge of interest in something and the price of that is quite high, that's generally a good sign to sell. Conversely, when we see that prices are very low and social dominance or social volume is very low, generally a good time to invest. Or when there's big panic scares, also good. Buy when there's blood in the streets, as Warren Buffett is prone to say. So something that happened simultaneously with the Silicon Valley Bank collapse and all of its knockdown effects and stablecoins losing their peg was the narrative around inflation and interest rates. So broadly, macroeconomic narratives, all right? Obviously, it is no myth or stranger to your knowledge that crypto markets are heavily influenced by interest rate decisions and specifically interest rate expectations. That's why we're going to be seeing momentum probably pick up around BTC leading into March when we first start getting those rate cuts. Now, as I said, this narrative happened simultaneously with the stablecoin depegging narrative, and this is what helped push sentiment in the cryptocurrency markets into the negative extreme, which again made it the most prime time to actually build those spot positions, to buy positions, to enter long, to buy calls. So be watching throughout 2024. If we get any of these negative sentiment spikes, could be a very good time to pick up positions. All right. So as we recovered from this stablecoin depegging and Silicon Valley Bank collapse, we very, very quickly recovered. And March and April went on to be fantastic months of growth in the cryptocurrency markets. Now, during this time, Ethereum layer 2s became a dominant narrative because if anybody has used Ethereum, gas fees are a real pain in the butt. So our community really desired a more efficient network and more cost-effective transactions. That was pretty much at the height. And that is why, gasless transactions, this account abstraction narrative is going to be so strong in 2024 because it is just carrying on from this layer 2 narrative. So all layer 2s performed very well here. We just had great performance from layer 2s during this period in time. So identifying this narrative was very important. Following that, as we moved into the summer months, May, June, July, and August, layer 1 platforms took center stage. So new layer 1s became the dominant narrative as we moved into the summer of 2023. And I do believe that the Solana ecosystem was central to this pivot. All right. Solana really kind of reemerged from the ashes like a phoenix, following all the negativity that it kind of associated with it due to the FTX collapse and their large holdings of Solana and their large pumpings of Solana's bag. But Solana reemerged into the limelight as a dominant force in the summer of 2023, and that led to a lot of distributions or launches of other layer ones as well. And so that was the dominant narrative at that point in time. Now, interesting to spike in here, meme coins. This is very interesting from this report. Meme coins obviously always have a base level of social chatter. People are always kind of looking for meme coins because, you know, you ask most people about cryptocurrency or, you know, how to get rich quick off cryptocurrency, and they're going to tell you, well, you got to find the next meme coin. You got to find the next Dogecoin, the next Shiba Inu, right? You buy $1,000 worth of it, it turns into 10 million. So this is how most people are very familiar. And so there's always this interest in looking for what is going to be the next meme coin. And we don't really have to look any further than what Bonk did for Solana to see that meme coins can still absolutely pop up out of nowhere and have these overnight millionaire stories. So meme coins did experience significant spikes in social interest at 2 points in time throughout 2023. The first one occurred in May and then again around December 15th. And what is very interesting is this correlation between where the market's price was and how the market performed following this big spike in interest in meme coins. And that is the fact that meme coin interest and market top conditions seem to be correlated. So typically there's going to be this big excitement or interest or surge of interest in meme coins when the market is getting close to a local top. So a very interesting thing to look out for when you start seeing your timeline abuzz with meme coins, like go ahead and grab that meme coin, but also open up a short on BTC at the same time to hedge your position. You know what I mean? Or double dip. All right, something else that might not come to the forefront of your mind when you think of hot crypto narratives, but certainly something that we just continue to keep hearing more and more of as we progress, is going to be this concept of real world assets, tokenizing real estate, tokenizing all these kind of things, and allowing cryptocurrency tokens to represent real world assets, again, whether they be real estate, stocks, bonds, whatever. So a healthy interest in this narrative can be seen. We can see this narrative growing and picking up steam throughout 2023 and getting big spikes as we moved into the end, the last quarter of 2023 as well. So I think this is going to continue to be a very important narrative. Now, I wouldn't say that we've seen real tangible results. We don't have any shining examples of extremely successful real world asset tokens that we can point to and be like, well, there's the Dogecoin of real world assets. That hasn't happened yet. But what is interesting is that with the continued growth, the continuous growth of the social volume of this narrative, I think that this might be the year that we begin to see those tokens that are claiming this real world asset narrative actually begin to break out and shine. And what better year than in a bull market year? So again, while not yet a dominating topic, there is a lot of potential here amid its growing relevance in the market. So again, identifying a few real world asset tokens for your portfolio might not be a bad idea for 2024. Artificial intelligence, of course, that's all anybody wants to talk about anymore. It was also the result of our most popular video on this channel, right? Before ChatGPT was really in the news, I was using it and made a ChatGPT video, and that's now our most popular video with almost 500,000 views. So artificial intelligence generated massive interest at the start of 2023, January through March. Due to ChatGPT launching. And by the end of the year, you can see it almost immediately start. I mean, it's picking up steam like April through June, but falls off in the summer, you know, has a brief spike toward the end of July, beginning of August, falls off again, spikes a little bit. And pretty much ever since that spike at the end of July, early August, with the exception of the spike in October, it's pretty much trended down. Now, this chart doesn't reflect that we did begin to see rising dominance moving into 2024. So again, AI still continues to be a strong narrative, a much talked about narrative. It doesn't have the steam at the current moment that it certainly did at the beginning of 2023, but I do think that it's going to have a large potential to shape the landscape and to be a strong narrative moving into 2024. All right. So that was 2023 year in review, some of the most important narratives. What are upcoming narratives for 2024 that I think are going to be clutch, that I think are going to be critical for us to pay attention to? Well, of course, anything related to the Bitcoin ETFs, they continue to perform very well. And overall, what is the overlying narrative there? I think the overlying narrative is just simply that this is going to be a bull market year. and that the price performance that we can see with this explosion of interest and volume flowing into these exchange traded products can really give us a huge boost this time around. Obviously, the Bitcoin halving is going to be a corollary to this, on top of the fact that the catalyst of another catalyst of it being an election year and a political year. These are all very positive for markets, and the cryptocurrency should benefit from this. Stable coins and regulations. I've talked about this before, but we've got a big lawsuit right now between the SEC and Coinbase. Analysts are expecting a 70% chance that they are going to win the lawsuit, which could be huge. But either way, expect increased scrutiny on stable coins, and I do expect to see some legislation or regulation penned, if not voted into existence this year regarding stable coins and stablecoin regulation. Obviously, DeFi and DAOs, I think, are ready to take off at any moment. DeFi seems to have dwindled a little bit. Less people are talking about yield and blah, blah, blah. But DeFi is still an extremely strong narrative, and it's going to pick up steam as we continue to move forward through 2024. And I think that DAOs are going to become ever more complex, ever more interesting, ever more tangible as we move into this year as well. Layer 2 solutions. This is a little controversial because other people are looking necessarily not at layer 2s, but I think the layer 2 solutions are going to be extremely important this year, particularly zero knowledge approaches. And as we saw with the meme coin chart, be aware, like NFTs and meme coins can pop off at any time. NFT volumes are actually up quite a bit, particularly on the Ethereum network. So certainly interest in NFTs is returning. Interest in meme coins can come out of nowhere at any point in time. So always have a meme coin on your radar. With the success of Friend Tech last year, I do expect to see a narrative of Web3 social networks emerging this year. So I'm very interested to speculate and look at any projects they're going to be trying to launch into that Web3 social network space because Friend.tech was so successful. And Santiment kind of ends this report with, this suggestion to expect the unexpected this year. I will, of course, add that I do think that account abstraction will be an important narrative this year. This idea of abstracting away transaction costs and gas fees for end users. But it's also a possibility in my mind that we're going to, I think it's an important narrative, but I don't think that the technology has come far enough for us to have an MVP or flagship product or token that is going to embody those characteristics yet this year. We might have a few things attempt to launch this year into the bull market just off strength, but I don't think that the products are going to be market ready yet. And since this entire idea of account abstraction is aimed around the end user, I don't actually think that it's going to be a dominant narrative this particular market cycle, but we shall see. All right. Getting into the important scuttlebutt, my friends. This coming from Milk Road this morning. Court has ordered an independent investigation into the FTX collapse. So a federal appeals court, geez, can you talk, Justin, did rule Friday that cryptocurrency exchange FTX must face an independent investigation by a court-appointed examiner, which overturned the earlier bankruptcy court decision that it was okay just for their interim CEO, the Enron gentleman, to do the investigation. So let's see here. We do have the appeals court ordering this independent probe. And sites need to study industry practices exposed by the crypto blowup. So everybody kind of thought the FTX thing was over. Let's see what the independent investigator is able to turn up. So we should be seeing some headlines here in the next weeks and months. Bloomberg analysts estimate a 70% chance of Coinbase winning the SEC case. This also from Milk Road. So quick take, Coinbase has a strong chance of prevailing over the SEC in the agency's lawsuit against the company for selling unregistered securities and operating a staking as a service program. So again, I talked about this on Friday. I just mentioned this earlier, the fact that analysts expect that Coinbase is going to win this. And this is going to be important because this is setting legal precedent for how altcoins and token launches and staking particularly might be regulated. So this is going to be very important, I think, for establishing positive precedent for the cryptocurrency markets. All right, key economic events this week from the Kobayashi letter. Obviously, we have manufacturing PMI data coming out on Wednesday, core durable goods on Thursday. Q4 2023 GDP data comes out on Thursday, new home sales on Thursday. December's PCE inflation data, which is probably the most of all those things. The December PCE inflation data is probably the most important. That comes out on Friday. We'll also be getting 20% of the S&P 500 company report earnings. And we are 1 week out from the first Fed meeting of 2024, which will be happening next week. So While we've had, lowered volumes, I am anticipating some increased volatility next week. So next week might be a nice week for trading. Kind of expecting this week to continue to be more difficult for the average trader. All right. Obviously, we've talked about the Dimension airdrop. The Dimension airdrop did occur. This is a hot and trending token, DYM. According to ALO over here, 1 million wallets were eligible for the DYM airdrop and just over half claimed. So what the developers are going to do is they are going to redistribute the non-claimed DYM. So if you did receive the Dimension airdrop, which I talked about for about a week leading up to this, if you did receive the DYM airdrop, expect to get a slightly larger second one as they redistribute the non-claimed DYM. All right, Arthur Hayes looking to be a bit bearish in the short term here. Arthur Hayes tweeting out this morning that BTC looks mad heavy. I think we break 40K. He went long some 29th of March 35K strike puts. I think we dump into the 31st of January U.S. Treasury quarterly refunding announcement. Is Janet Yellen or talking? Janet. I said Janet. Janet Yellen or talking. So a little bit of bearishness anticipated here from the man, the myth, the legend, Arthur Hayes, former CEO of BitMEX. And so he bought. So again, if going long on puts is weird verbiage for you, it just means he bought puts. All right, going long on puts is, I don't know, it's not the same, but it's shorting the market. You will make money if the market goes down. So 35K strike for the 29th of March, quite a bit of ways out there. But not bad at all. Especially if we plow through 38,000. I do believe that 38,000 is a magnet. We're heading down there. All right, good report here from Jim Bianco with regards to Fed rate cuts that we are anticipating coming up in March. He asks, when will the Fed cut rates? What is the market pricing? The red line in this chart that we are looking at is the next Fed meeting. Only a 2% probability of a cut is priced in. The brown line is the March 20th meeting. It has been fading on Friday. It fell under 50% for the first time in a month. And one of our members, Alex81SG, had mentioned this. I can't remember if it was in the live stream last week or during our last mentoring session, but he had also pointed my attention to this, the fact that expectations for a rate cut were beginning to dwindle down. And of course, this all ties in to this big reverse repo facility narrative that people like Arthur Hayes, Lynn Alden, Jeff Snyder are talking about, essentially how the quantitative tightening was supposed to reduce bank reserves, all right? Because with quantitative tightening, the Federal Reserve Bank stops increasing its balance sheet, which means it stops being the first buyer of newly issued government debt. So when the government needs money, which it needs like every other day, they have to roll over their debt and issue bonds to get cash from people. And people happily like pony up their cash and give it to the government to send wherever they send it, not places generally in the United States, from what I see. But with the Federal Reserve not stepping up to buy those bonds, private banks have to step up and buy those bonds. But that's not what's been happening. It's been the money market funds that deposited, and the money market funds that deposited all this money into the reverse repo facilities that the Federal Reserve government set up last year. And they have drained that down. So there's only like $500 billion left in there or something, I believe. And it is anticipated to be drained by April or May. Excuse me. So there is this narrative that once that money is drained, markets will respond very negatively. So green is May 1st, currently 85%, but down from 100% a week ago. But this is still 3 CPI and payroll reports away. So we will keep you updated as we move forward into this. But this is certainly one of the most important things that we're expecting macroeconomic wise. All right, as I said, Ethereum NFTs are rising. NFTs aren't completely dead. Ethereum NFTs just closed their first $200 million week in 6 months. Still a long way to go to get back to bull market levels, but the uptrend is there. All right, so good to see. So for those of you who've been, sitting on those NFTs you bought at the height of the bull market, I mean, we're still, like I said, still a long ways from getting back to there. But maybe it's not a bad time to go out and start sweeping some floor prices. You know what I'm saying? All right. We're going to conclude today's market report before we move on to general technical analysis and questions and answers. I found this nice thread on Twitter from SchizoXPT. He's posted very good content before. And he's saying, haven't done a good old thread in a minute, so I'm offering my take on markets for this year. So this is SchizoXPT's 2024 market thesis. Now, I'm not going to go over all of his theses. I've kind of cherry picked the ones that I think are relevant, but there's very good information in here. So moving on, getting right along with this. Thesis number one. He first expects Solana to continue to outperform Ethereum. So right here, he plans on holding and accumulating as much Solana as I can. This is something that he and I do agree on. I do believe that I do think that Solana will outperform Ethereum. So Solana and Ethereum are very heavy in my portfolio this year. I do currently have more Ethereum than Solana, and I'm going to keep it that way. But Solana very definitely heavy in my portfolio this year. All right, he estimates that Solana price can go anywhere from $500 to $700 at its peak, but he really would like to see $1,000. All right. Thesis number two. The future is modular. And this is a very interesting narrative that actually I read this, and I'm going to be considering this over the next few weeks as I continue to rebalance my portfolio. But he believes that the future is modular, and I definitely agree with him. So layer 2 rollups are an older form of technology, whereas modular blockchains just for data availability or data storage seem to be the current narrative and are a newer application of the technology that we have. So Celestia and Dimension are both modular blockchains that have performed exceedingly well. And the fact that they have performed very well hints that they will also continue to perform very well moving into the bull market. So he says that Celestia and Dimension will probably end up being his biggest core position once it's all said and done. I'm not necessarily willing to go that far, but this idea of modular blockchain projects really taking the shine and outperforming layer 2s, which have done quite well. So things like Arbitrum, Optimism, Matic, those have kind of had their run. And what he is suggesting here is that modular blockchains this cycle, things like Dimension, things like Celestia, and newer projects that are going to launch, those are really what we should be paying attention to with our portfolios. And then he goes on to say that he's excited to see what's going to happen with Sovereign Labs and Alt Layer. These are kind of big launches that are being projected here. Big things are still to come from projects like Hyperlane, Movement Labs, and Barachain. Then he goes on to pump Barachain up. Forget Barachain. You didn't hear that from me. All right, speaking of modular, we move on to thesis number 3. And this is where he kind of now takes hits roll-ups over that. Roll-ups are done with the above text set to take over. All right, so again, he is saying here that he feels that modular blockchains like Celestia and Dimension are going to supplant our layer 2 roll-ups. All right. He says, I could really care less about most layer 2s and most things on Ethereum, but I bet down the road, most chains Ethereum related integrate with modular technology to scale quicker and better. And he goes on to say that this lends itself to the theory I've had for a while that Cosmos tech is better. I do not disagree with him there. Cosmos tech is some of the most technically exciting and interesting blockchain technology out there. And people are going to realize this. Cosmos has its own issues, but few can dispute that Cosmos is almost always ahead of the game with its technology. So yes, I'm a long-term Atom holder and staker, Osmosis, Juno, all of the things. I'm big in the Cosmos ecosystem, get lots of airdrops. Love Cosmos, highly recommend it. Thesis number 4, all right? He thinks that Monad will come out swinging and ends up being just as good as we think it will. People have differing opinions, but I think people will forget, just like they did with Celestia, and then it'll launch and be crypto Twitter's darling again. So expecting big things from the launch of Monad up and coming. And then we skipped over thesis 5, thesis number 6, and this is perhaps the best generalized knowledge that he says in his thesis here, which is he's keeping it simple, not holding too many coins, not making too many movements, just sitting in my ideas and trying not to stray. Diversification killed me last bull market, so I'm doing the opposite this time. He then goes on to say something that I am going to agree and echo here, that most traders are going to be so busy with their portfolios, they're going to lose sight of their overall goals. They're going to be so over trading that they're going to end up probably burning their portfolio before the bull market really even kicks off, and they're going to remain on the sidelines ever salty. You don't need to be very fancy to do well in this market. You need to be very simple. You need to do a few things very, very well and ignore and avoid all the things that are not contributing to the success of what you've decided to focus on. You don't need to have 20 positions. You can't have 20 positions. It's too much to pay attention to. All right. 5 tokens. That's all you need. Pick 5 tokens, 10 tokens if you must. 10 tokens is good. 10 tokens is where I'm at. Right. But once you start to really get above that, it requires so much effort to stay on top of all of the things with so many different tokens. that you get lost in the dust. You just get lost in the dust, right? And you end up getting frustrated and making poor decisions and, rebalancing too frequently, selling too frequently, buying new things too frequently. Just pick high quality projects that you think are going to do well, dollar cost average into them, and ride the bull market. Sell when we get close to the end of the year. And it's like, it could not be simpler, guys. But I hate to say this, but over half of the people watching this right now are likely not going to profit from the bear market. They're going to get in their own way when the simplest thing to do is just buy and hold. All right. If you're, and just public service announcement here. If you guys aren't making money trading futures, just stop trading futures. Okay. Just go find a spot exchange and buy spot. That's all you got to do. Buy spot, dollar cost average, pay diamond hands, hold. It really couldn't be easier. For 90% of people out there, that's what they should do. Just don't open a futures account, open a spot account, dollar cost average, chill and hold. All right, that was today's Breaking Bitcoin Market Report for you guys. I want everyone who has watched this today to, of course, remember the core fundamental ideas of what we believe in here at Kraken Cryptocurrency. Trade safely. Live to play the game another day. All right? Bankroll management, capital management. It is not the 10x return that's going to pay your bills because you'll probably waste it all, getting rug pulled on the next thing you try to flip into. Emotional discipline and risk management. That's what pays the bills. For those of you who are looking to grow your wealth, build your wealth, and protect your wealth in 2024, I invite you to come trade directly and invest directly with myself and my team in 2024 to accomplish your goals. In the premium trading group, you're going to get access to our daily market updates, our tactical trade signals, our best in the industry trading courses, just a highlight of what we do, our private Discord, our coaching and mentoring program, and our technical indicator package. All the information on that you can find on our website at krakencryptocurrency.com or click the link in the description below. All right. With that out of the way, let's hop into some technical analysis, do some chat engagement. Let's see what you guys have to say for today. Hopefully everybody's doing fantastic on this Monday as we get into the markets. I apologize. Today is an afternoon stream. Wasn't very active with the trading today. As I said, I have been struggling in January with my copy trade account, and that's okay. Good months, bad months, consistency is key. I just continue to trade the strategy. Sometimes it's going to overperform. Sometimes it is going to underperform, and understanding that is important. Let's go over to this chart here. And now we can break down. I apologize if I'm a little dark today, but overall it doesn't look too bad. All right, let's get into your chats. Shout outs to everybody who contributed to the chats. How are we doing today? All right. We've got Crypto Rick, of course, Cheesy Business, Bob the Builder, Astro369, Mr. Ether, Caribbean Crypto Show. Good to see you, man. It's been like forever. Let's see here. Oh, Astro, thank you, man. Yes, hit the like button. Kyle Mitchell, good to see you, my friend. Jim Spen back in the chat. Let's see. Alex81SG, of course, he says the new narrative in DeFi seems to be driven by the airdrop farming. Most new protocols have implemented a point system based on volume, so a lot of fake activity and wash trading has happened recently. Yeah, well, I think the point system is designed to help mitigate against that, this kind of Sybil attack concept. And I do think it's just going to be a staple. It's going to be a staple of things moving forward. Obviously, I think it really caught steam with Jupiter's airdrop on Solana, which was one of the most anticipated airdrops. They begin distribution here towards the end of January. Let's see. Jordan Stotts, thank you, my friend, on the road today, but I appreciate that thumbs up. Let's see here. Alex asks, did I receive my DYM airdrop already? No, I have not got my distribution. Let's see here. Elijah Ray, member for 37 months in the Discord. Highly appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the support. Much love to you as well. Jesus Coin is the meme of my choice, is my meme of choice. Excellent choice, sir. A lot of people like the good old Jesus Coin. The future is not the futures by Justin Wise, Cryptomeister. Thank you, guys. Jordan Stott says, pick 3 analysis and stick with it. Yeah, I mean, yes, exactly, right? So many people it's trading is a game of getting in your own way, right? Like conceptually, it's easy, right? Buy low, sell high, cover low, right? Conceptually, it's easy. But once you put a human in there, man, it gets hard, right? Like for real, like a robot can trade like no problem, don't care, right? You know, most like even simple RSI bots are profitable, right? Given a long enough time span and correct risk management. That's where it's with a bot, the risk management is key, right? Because with a bot, you know the execution is going to be perfect. The thing with the bot though is you got to have that risk management. And most people just don't only like watch a couple of my videos and they're like, oh, okay, 2% risk per trade. All right, but then they don't like watch the rest of my videos or take our course where they're like, oh no, yes, it's 2% risk per trade, but also, right, like you can't lose more than 5% in a month, right? You can't lose more than 10% in a year, like things like that, right? You have to manage your capital like a poker stack of chips, right? You have to preserve your capital and make sure that you can always live to play the next day, right? Okay. Let's get into our BTC analysis. Starting off on the weekly, as we like to do. Up with my indicators. No. Try refresh. There we go. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Watermark. 30%. That was impressive. That's still. Let's bring that down. Yeah, that is an impressive watermark. Do we need the water? I don't think we need the watermark. Let's get rid of the watermark. That's just too. It's too much. That is just too much. All right. Okay. Bitcoin on the weekly again. We have now had this weekly breakdown. Of course, the weekly candle is not closed, but we do now have the confirmation that we were looking for. So here's the ETF launch, and it's just been down only. This is right in line with all of the major catalysts that we've seen before. You know, Bitcoin futures marked the top of the 2017 market. The coin listing. So when Coinbase went public in May of 2021, it marked the top of the market. When Bitcoin futures, when the Bitcoin ETF futures launched in October of 2021, it marked the top. So anytime we've had this kind of big announcement of a Bitcoin product, it's always been a local top of the market. Buy the rumor, sell the news. And again, I think we continue to drift down. I think there will be a pop that we can play, a volatility pop that we can play leading into the Super Bowl based on the last couple of years of price performance. But the next, I mean, I'm basically just waiting. 38K inbound. We're almost there. You know, maybe 35K if Arthur Hayes is correct. If Arthur Hayes is 35K, then I think 32.5 is on the table. We come down, retest the 55 EMA, and then get that nice kick up. All right. Why is this confirmed? Again, we already talked about this. TSI beginning to curl and roll over, giving us that early warning sign. Is the first time that TSI really convincingly began to change its angle. You can see that even here, and this was even that red, this weekly candle right here is when TSI was like, whoa, hey, look out here, boys. You should be a little cautious here. Obviously, on balance volume on the weekly is crossed underneath the signal line as well, letting us know that volume is no longer on our side. It's not on the bull side. And of course, probably the biggest and classic TA indicator here, RSI recovering from overbought conditions, trading and crossing underneath the signal line and back below the 70th percentile, which is just one of the most classic like trade this decisions. And again, that signal came on that weekly candle, right? It came on this weekly candle. You could have been short for the last 2 weeks, guys. You know, subscribe, watch the show. You'll never miss it. Daily time frame. All right. We broke down below the daily 21. We broke down, we consolidated between the 21 and the 55. I talked about this last week. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous on the way down to consolidate between tightening moving averages. It generally indicates a breakdown. We did get that breakdown. We closed below the 55 and no pop back up. I don't know where you reversal traders are. It's not the play. That's what I'm struggling with this year too. Is trying to play these reversals, but you just got to repivot your brain, understand where we're at in the market cycle. So on the daily, it does look like a magnet down here. So the 200 daily SMA down here at that 35.5. All right. So again, I think that's what something that Arthur Hayes might be looking at to influence his decision. TSI has now crossed all the way down. We're no longer talking about two lines crosses, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about centered oscillator signals. We have crossed below the 0 line. All right. This is TSI telling you go short. The market is bad. Okay. The market is bad. So we want to be shorting any pumps, guys. We want to be shorting any pumps until we get a big macro shift. All right. You can see on balance volume has completely like not made any further gains. Choppy here on the daily, obviously. OBV on the daily is like kind of tricky. But, you know, we do have this kind of downwards decline and just hanging out in that previous consolidation range. RSI just chunking all the way down. RSI is crossed below the 50% line as well. So we're below the 50th percentile. We're at 37. So we are coming up on a below 30 kind of oversold print, but it's not yet. It's not yet. Sneaks123 says, hey, don't you think there will be a bounce? I mean, listen, there's always going to be bounces, right? But the last bounce that I recommend playing was this bounce right here. All right. This bounce right here. When price chunked down to the 55 EMA, at this open, I was like, hey guys, we should probably buy this, right? And I was expecting price to come up here to the 21, which it did. We wicked up to the 21 EMA, but that was it. It was just 2 days of pump. It was like a 3% price movement, and it's just not worth it, guys. It's not worth picking the pennies up in front of the steamroller when the dominant direction is south. All right. I know it can be so difficult. Everybody wants to buy here. Everyone wants to buy here and then sell up here. All right. But I don't think that's what we should be doing right now. We should be just sitting through this and then reshorting. Right. So there hasn't been a significant pump to short yet. But when we do, like any pumps, right, 2-3 days coming up to resistance, you got to position right. You got to know which direction to trade it. Full breakdown of the 55 EMA here. Yes, of course there will be a bounce, but it's just how difficult are the bounces when the market is trending down to time? It's not the way to go. When the market is long, when the market is bullish, you don't short. You just buy every dip. That is what we do. When the market is trending down, you don't long. You just short every pump. That's what you do. And it's so difficult to do. But if you guys can just train yourselves to do that, I guarantee whether you're day trading or whether you're swing trading, you're going to avoid so many losses that you otherwise would have. I mean, that's the problem that I'm personally having right now with my copy trade account. You know, like my higher time frame analysis, my puts are all in, like my swing trading, I'm profiting. I've got the right positions. I'm still short. But on my day trading account, I keep trying to like long these pumps, right? I'm like, oh man, like I just did it today, right? I just did it today. Like, you know, like long, like price moving down. I was like, oh, okay, this is a good time to buy in. And then price just continue to chunk down. So I'm struggling with this as well. Okay. And I've been trading for a long time. Since 2016 professionally. All right. Yeah, Tyler, like what pumps? Hey, White on Rice, good to see you in the chat, my friend. All right, let's come down to the hourly. What do we got going on in the hourly? Again, today was just a bloodbath, guys. I mean, this is today, right? You know, and our junior analyst, Reflex, all of his daily market updates, his market summaries, his signals throughout the day. Those are all available to every member of our premium trading group. He crushed it today. He called this. He called it yesterday too. No, not yesterday. Excuse me, Saturday. He called Saturday's price movements. He called today's price movements to a T, saying that we were going to get a bloodbath, saying that we were going to get a big drop. So huge shout outs to our junior analyst Reflex. Just great positioning, great analysis. Again, shout outs to our other junior analyst, Jan. He's crushing it as well. Puts out some of the best signals I've ever seen. All right. I got in at 39,666, just sold half, says Sneaks. What's up, man? Yeah, see, Sneaks is out there playing them bounces right. See, it's not what I'm good at. I'm not good at playing these tiny little bounces until I get a bot on it, right? Like that, this is, for me, you know, one of my favorite day trading strategies is utilizing open interest. So when I see sharp drops, like this is a day trade that I took, you know, I bought this sharp drop in open interest right here. Like I went long, I saw this big drop in OI, and typically that always means the price will reverse, but it didn't. It just chunked down lower. So this was a loss for me today. But this is one of my favorite strategies, but I just don't have the time or the patience to sit in front of my computer and day trade all day anymore. Like I can't do it. I make so much more money passively investing in swing trading. I just day trade to continue to improve my skills because, you know, I assume that one day I'm going to be great at it. Like the good guitar or something. Just, you know, practice every day. But you know, this is really, in my opinion, I really want to retrain my bot to look for this thesis. This is what I want to do. All right. Yeah. So obviously price has now chunked all the way down. We had this nice channel that price was trading in. We ascended above it. This channel did act as support. And we just broke down, traded all the way down to the bottom of the channel. Did get a small bounce, but we've now chunked all the way back down below that. All right. So what am I expecting now? Well, we've had a big surge in price down. Again, what am I expecting now? I would expect to see price come up, retest the bottom of this channel, potentially even surge all the way up to the 200 hourly SMA before continuing on further down. All right. Or even now that we've had 1, 2, 3 drives, potentially now we can have some like consolidation, some whipsaw for like this whole week potentially, right? So I do expect to come in and see the market either exactly where it's at or a little bit higher tomorrow morning and throughout the night. And then I will probably short that. Yeah, it's probably going to be the right moves to short into that. Tyler tried to scalp the 39.533 entry. Really thought we were going to get more of a bounce after the gap fill. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's this is my narrative for the day, right? Like, oh, I thought I'm in a long, and then I get stopped out. Like, I thought we were going to get a bigger bounce. Oh my god, like why? So. It's your daily reminder to drink water, and then to tell you guys, if you don't have an 88-ounce water bottle, you're not living life right. All right, just get it, buy it. It's like $40 on Amazon. It'll change your life. Sleep better, eat less, crush life more. I'm telling you, drink more water. All right. Whoops, sorry. All right, so now let's switch back to the daily. Let's go through our tokens. We do have, of course, have our daily close coming up here in about 2 hours. So let's go through and see what potential trades are going to be on the table. The only difference we're going to be utilizing, excuse me, let's get rid of this. And we are, of course, going to be using oops. Yeah, okay. Yep. We're going to be using our proprietary baseline indicator for this. Let's just actually, sorry. What I want. Nope. Excuse me. We are going to be using a Hall moving 60 for our baseline. I lied. We're going to be using the 21 EMA. We're going to be using on the daily. We're going to be using the 21 EMA as our baseline. All right. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with this process, this is the trading style that I teach. This is a pathways to profit method trading strategy. We need moving average. We need a momentum oscillator or a trending indicator. We need something that looks at volume, and we need a take profit indicator, or we need some confirmation indicator. I'm going to be using the RSI as a confirmation indicator and as a take profit indicator here. All right. So we need these components for a PTP strategy. This is the way I have taught individuals to build profitable trading strategies for years. These are the strategies that I use myself. Most of my trading now is automated with the exception of my day trading account utilizing this methodology. So what are we looking for? Let's talk about requirements. If we're going to go long, price has to be above the 21 EMA. If we're going to go short, price has to be below the 21 EMA. We are looking for trends. We are looking to buy into trends, whether to the upside or the downside. Short, obviously, into weakness, buy into strength. And then we're going to be using a primary strategy, a re-entry strategy of buying dips in an up market and shorting pumps in a down market for position management and for adding to our positions, right? And we will be taking profit when our profit indicator screams at us. That is how we're going to be doing things. So we're going to go through the pairs that I have available to copy trade on Fairdesk to look. So we've got about 30 pairs that we're going to be flipping through real quick and looking for trades. So I'm going to show you what it should look like when you're trading. This is how quickly your market scan should take. You should be able to determine within a glance by looking at a chart whether you have a trade available or not. There should be no like charting, drawing lines. You can like, again, like I don't want to like down that strategy, but we're just talking about PTP here. And you can simplify your life so much just by eliminating the noise. All right, so BTC, we should absolutely be short on this. We should be short on this. Why? Price has crossed and closed below the 21 exponential moving average. On that exact same candle, we did have OBV cross and close below the signal line, confirming bearishness, and OBV is moving down, so that confirms. We do have, of course, RSI moving down and trading below the signal line as well. That's our confirmation. And of course, TSI giving us our primary trade signal by crossing and closing below the signal line as well. So everything, this was when we should have shorted BTC. This trade is still active. RSI is nowhere oversold. Ethereum is now flashing a short signal as well. We do, of course, have this big chunk down, high volume. We have the TSI cross below the signal line. We have the OBV confirming. We have RSI confirming. And as we're right in the middle here on 50% RSI, we're in the 50th percentile. We're nowhere near oversold. Now, one exception, this is not a trade today. We're not going to be entering Ethereum today. Why? Candle size violation. This is too large of a candle. I talk about this in our course. I talk about this ad nauseum. This is too big of a candle to have a good, like obviously, like we could wake up tomorrow in another red candle. That's happened a few times. But generally, when we get a huge candle like this, the market will pull back to fair market value to reposition before we do then continue on further south. So entering on a big death candle like this, in my experience, is not good. Therefore, I just have a rule set about entering on candle size violation. Anything that goes beyond 1 ATR of the baseline is what we're looking for. So this is too big of a movement from Ethereum. And I do feel we're going to be getting a bad price. So we are going to wait for price to recover a little bit before actually entering into this trade. And so Bitcoin is going to move into our active shorts list. We are going to be putting this in our blue list. All right. Ethereum is also going in our blue list. So these are things that we are watching for to reposition on. All right. Cardano, short right here. Okay, bring up our indicators. Price crossed and closed below the 21 EMA here. At that same time, TSI was below the signal line. OBV was trending down. RSI was trending down. All confirming entering right here. Let's see here. Probably hit our first take profit on this slide down. Otherwise, we still would have been in the trade. This is not 1.5 ATR. This is not stopping us out. And then price continuing to move down. This is still a very good trade. We could enter this trade at this point in time. I'm going to be putting ADA again on our watch list to watch for shorting. Doge USDT. All right. Let's see here. Again, we have price crossing and closing below the 21 EMA, but at the same time, we don't have that confirmation signal from TSI. TSI is actually crossing above. Now, obviously, our indicators are just getting a little whipsawed here. We don't care. We're not going to make excuses for why we're smarter than our indicators. We're just going to believe the signals that we're getting. Dogecoin, we're going to pass and we're going to move aside. This is not an asset that we want to be shorting. RSI is all over the place. OBV is all over the place. So we're going to be moving on from Doge. We will not be shorting Doge today. DOT looks very, very good. Again, we could have shorted this here. We could have shorted this here. In both cases, getting the confirming signals that we need from our indicators. We are a little too far away. We do need to be within 1 ATR of the baseline to enter into a trade. So we are we're too far away to be going short on DOT today. So not doing anything. Chainlink. Let's see here. Chainlink, again, we are crossing the 21 EMA today, but we are not getting that confirming signal from TSI. We can just move right along. Uniswap, we are below the 21 EMA. We are below, but OBV is not confirming. OBV is in an uptrend here. We can see this. It's making higher highs and higher lows. So OBV does not confirm this trade. We can move right along. BNB, interesting asset. BNB is flirting with crossing below the 21 EMA today, which would be a good signal. We had this nice pullback. I'd actually recommended playing this to the long side. So there was a bit of a bounce there. But yeah, everything's confirming here. We are crossing. We are flirting at crossing below the 21. So this one's going to go on our watch list to see if we can actually get this breakdown in price. But oh, no, it's going to come right off the watch list. Why? Volume is growing. That's not what we want. We want declining volume. Rising volume is always bullish. Declining volume is always bearish. Tyler says, have I looked at Caretaker's HPDR? I actually haven't. Sneaks, close the position. I think you're right. We're dumping. Yeah. So do you guys understand? Like this looks good, and TSI looks good here, but OBV is not giving us the signal that we need. We're getting a contrary signal from OBV, so we're just gonna move. We don't even have to look at it. We just move right along. XRP should have shorted the big breakdown here, but again we have this nice pullback. XRP slipping here. TSI confirms. Let's see here. OBV is confirming. RSI is confirming, but RSI is too close to being oversold here for my liking. So we are going to move along. Solana actually looks good to short here. Why? We're breaking below support. TSI cross under. OBV trending down. RSI close, but not that close. I mean, we were like down here with XRP. Solana still has room to grow. So Solana is going to go on the watch list for shorting. Polygon looks good. Below the 21. TSI. OBV trending down. RSI trending down. On the watch list. Arbitrum looks great. Breakdown. Below. TSI. OBV. RSI. Watch list. SUI. Nope, we're not below the 21 EMA on SUI, so we just move right along. BCH looks good here. A lot of weird price action here on BCH. So this is this price action is very weird to me. So I'm just gonna I don't like it. I'm gonna move on. Filecoin, this looks a lot more nice. Down below. PSI, OBV trending down. RSI trending down. All good. Onto the watch list. Axie Infinity. PSI. OBV not trending down. OBV flat. We move right along. Maker. Not below the 21 EMA. We move right along. Ethereum Classic. Breaking down below the 21 EMA. PSI cross under. OBV trending down. RSI trending down. Onto the watch list. Yearn Finance. Long consolidation around the 21 EMA. Potential breakdown now. Testing support. PSI cross under. I'll allow it. YFI goes on the watch list. YFI is weird to trade though. So I'm just throwing that out there. Phantom looks great. Shorting. Didex. Crossing below the 21. No signal from TSI. We move right along. EOS. Below the 21. Whoops. TSI. OBV. RSI. Looks good. Onto the watch list. VeChain. OBV is not trending down. Moving along. Sand token. OBV is not trending down. Moving along. ApeCoin. OBV is not trending down. OBV is trending up. We move along. Mana. So in those situations, it's not my strategy. I'm not a reversal trader. But in those situations, like we're Ape here, where we see the market trending down, but OBV trending up, those are opportunities to buy reversals and to be contrary. Because if there's a heightened volume, that means that people are buying, right? Declining volume is always bearish. Rising volume is always bullish. Period. Mana, OBV is trending up. We can move it along. Optimism, below the 21, TSI, OBV, RSI, looks good. Optimism goes on the watch list. Aptos goes on the watch list. And we just got a few more. Mask, OBV is not trending down. We move along. Lido goes on the watch list. Conflux, OBV is not trending down. Neo, I'll allow it. Neo goes on the watch list as well. All right, so here are our assets that I would recommend looking at for potential shorts. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Matic, Arbitrum, Filecoin, Ethereum Classic, Yearn Finance, Phantom, EOS, Optimism, Aptos, Lido, and Neo. You see how I was able to take this huge list and within like what, 5-10 minutes, chunk it down. Now I know exactly what assets to potentially look for. I know exactly what triggers to watch for. I know exactly how to position, and all I have to do is take the best ones at daily close. Life could not be simpler. Jean Remy Osorio, good to see you, my friend. Sneaks123 asks to have a look at SEI. So I'm going to have a look at SEI, and then I think we're going to go ahead and close off today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. SEI on Binance. All right, daily time frame. All right, we'll do the PTP analysis, and then I'll take a closer look at this. All right, closed below the 21 exponential moving average. TSI trending down. OBV trending down. RSI trending down. I would short it. Looks very, very nice. Indicators. ATR. Data window. ATR is currently 0.0962. We measure from current price up 0.0962. Just close enough to that. Okay. So this right here is 1 ATR, meaning that current price right here is within 1 ATR of the 21 exponential moving average, meaning we're not overextended, and it is fine for an entry right now in my system. All right, so SEI is looking good. Obviously, what do we got here? Token launch, long consolidation, wind up before a before a breakout. This is a very common pattern. Token launch, big volume, sell off, and then long period of consolidation, and then an absolute face melter, 600% rally. Yeah, I mean, 600% rally, dude, and now the market's turning bearish. Like, short this shit. Declining volume is bearish. Declining volume is bearish. Damn. I gotta switch the color of my lines now that I'm using a black background. I've been using a black background for a long time, but I found that it's very hard to see on stream. And nobody told me that. You guys have been watching me for years, and nobody said, hey, bro, we can't see the chart. So thanks, guys. You guys are the best. All right. All right, let's remove indicators here, and let's mark up our chart. What do we got? Magnet mode is on. Hit it. And what do we need for this level of analysis? We need our visible range volume profile. Okay. Magnet mode off because we're drawing boxes. Daily supply. Daily demand. Daily demand. And we're not going to go any lower than that because that's an exercise in futility. And low volume nodes here, guys. I mean, basically, there's a little bit of a bump here. You can see this is previously where the market has picked up these deep dives. So there is a buyer in the market here. That's undisputed. There is a buyer in the market. But 1, 2, 3 tests to this level of support. Let's see if we can lose it. What could we see here? I mean, since we did see price step in here previously, it wouldn't be insane. Again, if we get a little bit of relief. Why? I need this color to be black. For us to get a little bit of relief, pop back up here to our daily supply zone around 67 cents. And then rejection down to our next demand zone at approximately 47 cents. So potentially 12% move up, followed by 30% move down. What I would broadly expect from SEI. Yeah, this looks decent to me. It looks like a good short. Whether you short now and sit through a little drawdown, or whether you're patient. You could split it too. I like to do this oftentimes with charts that look like this. Like I'll get a starter position, like low leverage, not too much risk. And then, like that way, if it just falls, like I'd make money on my thesis. Great. Like not the most profitable trade in the world, but I made money. Cool. because, you know, it's like 1%. But, you know, if I take my starter position and then price comes up to my ideal entry and I hit it hard, and then, oh man, it's the best feeling in the world when you position correctly for a good trade. So good. So good. Like a massage. A deep tissue massage. If you're into that, some people. Oh, come on. Pull up my DOM. Hold on a second. They changed this. Yeah, here it is. Object tree. Bam. No problem, guys. All right. I appreciate everything, guys. And I think that is going to conclude the stream for the day, guys. Oh, quick shout outs to Fairdesk. Obviously, guys, today's show is sponsored by our centralized exchange of choice and partner in trading, Fairdesk. If you guys want to begin trading cryptocurrency in the new year, I highly recommend you do so on Fairdesk. If you sign up with my referral link, you're going to get automatic VIP level 1 fee discounts. You're going to be saving a lot of money on your trading fees. You can earn up to $100,000 with your deposit bonus, and you can copy trade me. Only people who are on Fairdesk can copy trade my day trading account. So come on over. The water's warm. You guys can profit with me when I'm successful with my day trading accounts, which is very often. And you can obviously hit up my DMs and blow them up and ask me what the heck I'm on when I get a position liquidated, which happens from time to time. Either way, it's fun. We've been doing quite well. So link is in the description for everything you could possibly need. We were previously partnered with ByBit, but since they have kicked off Americans, Fairdesk is our new KYC-free exchange of choice. Fairdesk.krakencryptocurrency.com. And thanks to Fairdesk for sponsoring this video. Guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I hope that today's information was informative, educational. I obviously do my best every single day to provide my insights and the most accurate news and information that I can provide to you guys. If you want to support what we're doing here, it's free. Just like and subscribe the stream, share it to your friends, get the word out there. We're here every single day. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, generally in the mornings, but we will be here every single day, Monday through Friday, bringing you guys the latest. Of course, links are down in the description to everything you can need in life, information on our premium trading group and our coursework, as well as our Discord link is down there as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or hot stock tips or death threats, leave them in the comments section down below, as well as let me know what you guys would like to see covered in the next episode and live stream. We will be back tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the Discord for everything you could possibly need. Trade safely, guys. Cheers.